Hey, hey, everyone. I'm back. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. I hope that you've had an amazing week. For those of you who tune in every single Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, welcome back. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. For those of you who are brand new to Mental Health Moment, welcome, welcome. We are here live every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. And for those of you who are joining the replay on Dr. Nekeshia Hammond YouTube page, be sure to like this page, share this video, and subscribe to the page. So welcome, welcome. Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. Also, let me know where you may be tuning in from in the lovely chat here. And for those of you who are new to Mental Health Moment is all about how do you work on becoming the best version of who you are so you can show up powerfully for yourself and for the people around you. So we're here every week, again, Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. We're here every week talking about different ways to be better, talking about different ways to work on our mental health, work on our wellness, again, work on your personal development, right? Because it doesn't just affect you, it affects the people around you as well. So it's like a bonus. But again, welcome, welcome. Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. Let me know in the chat where you may be tuning in from, what part of the world or what state you are tuning in from today. And before I get started, let me give you a quick announcement here. Let me see. Okay, so whenever I do have a speaking engagement that I can announce that is actually open to the public, of course, I want to invite you all. So let's see, the next one I've told you all before, and I do apologize. Maybe if you're watching this video after the day, I apologize. If you're watching the replay after the day, but it is on not Tuesday. Today is Tuesday though. It is on Sunday, March 22nd. Sunday, March 22nd. If you're in Tampa Bay or you're planning on being in the Tampa Bay area, the event is called The Intersection, hosted by Melissa Atkinson. So you can always just Google it. The Intersection, hosted by Melissa Atkinson in Tampa Bay. It is a half day event. It's going to be amazing. I'm so excited to be there. I will be speaking on mental resilience, which is what we talk about right here on Mental Health Moment as well. But I'll be on a panel. I'm super excited. The day is going to be amazing. So it's going to be good food. It's going to be there's like wellness activities. I'll be speaking on a panel there. Like there's all these other amazing speakers. So it really is going to be a great day. So again, Sunday, March 22nd, the Intersection event, Tampa Bay. So get your tickets. I think they're sold out of the early bird special, but there's still tickets remaining. So grab your tickets, and I hope to see you there. There might be another date, but I don't have that confirmed yet. So okay, so when I do get that other possible public event confirmed, I will definitely let you all know. But again, I love to invite you all to these events. So again, welcome to Mental Health Moment. If you're just tuning in, let me know in the chat where you're tuning in from today. And for myself, I reside in the Tampa Bay area of Florida, which I'm actually in today, which is yay. Sometimes for those of you who are not new to Mental Health Moment, you know that I'm out and about. So sometimes I'm in different cities or states or countries. But today I am in the Tampa Bay area of Florida. So again, welcome, welcome. Let me know in the chat where you are tuning in from today. Hopefully I'll be able to see the chat at some point in this live because the comments technology just does whatever it wants to do sometimes. So sometimes the comments don't come until later. But still, let me know where you are tuning in from today in the chat. Okay, so today's mental health moment. Oh, now I can see a couple of them. So LA's in the house. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining here. Today's mental health moment. So this is always an interesting time of year because it's so interesting how different parts of the year go, right? Like end of the year-ish, maybe we talked a little bit about reflection, the end of last year, right? And then the beginning of the year, there's just like new year energy, new year, new me, and everybody has goals and all those sorts of things, which is great. And then, we're a couple months into the year here. And sometimes some of you are taking a little bit of reflection. Maybe this year is going way better than you imagined. Maybe this year is not starting off great. Maybe it's just mediocre, right? Like we start to kind of reflect, like, how is our year going to be? Um, so today's mental health moment, though, as you take this, sometimes for some of you, you might get into like spring cleaning, whether that is like physically things that you're sort of cleaning out, or just like kind of mentally, emotionally, like where are you at? Right. We've talked about mental health detox before, like, kind of where are you at? Um, so, um, so, so what I want to share in today's mental health moment, though, is just a couple of different tips because some of you may be in a season where you're like, you know what, things may have not gone the way you want to go, but there's like a different level of momentum, or you want to almost like a reset button. Sometimes we want to press. But I also want to share with you that just because you can handle something doesn't necessarily mean you can or should take it on, right? So many of you in the chat, or not in the chat, but many of you watching this, because I've heard your stories over the years, which is very cool. Um, which is a good thing. Like maybe consider yourself strong people, or maybe you're a caregiver for a kid, grandchild, parent, whomever, right? Like you're taking care of someone else besides yourself. Um, and you're doing a lot of things and you're juggling a lot of things. But that and that is very commendable. First of all, I do want to say that. And also, though, as I always preach on a tough moment, we also still have to be taking care of ourselves too, right? And making sure that you are not taking on things just because you have the the strong mental ability to, that you're not taking on things sometimes that we need to not be doing. So I'm going to give you a couple tips tonight on that. So the first thing is, so for my note takers, y'all can take some notes today, right? But the first thing to think about is really, are you recognizing what is it within your capacity versus what is your responsibility? Okay, so two very different things. Just because you have the capacity to do something physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, you need to also ask yourself, but is this your responsibility? Because again, sometimes you may be taking on things, project situations, other people's worries, or whatever it is that's not necessarily your responsibility, and it is draining you because you feel like, well, I have the ability or capability to handle that such situation, but it's not maybe within what you need to be taking on, if that makes sense. And again, these type of things, sometimes you really have to sit down with yourself. You really have to reflect. There's a very fine line sometimes of what is truly our responsibility and what is someone else's responsibility that we have taken on that we didn't need to. Uh, but you really have to, again, sit with yourself, find some type of silent time, whatever that looks like. It doesn't even have to mean, and I don't necessarily mean meditation. Meditation is great too. But I mean silent time sometimes where you're just not scrolling on your phone, or you're not going through your computer, or you don't have the TV on, or whatever noise and whatever distractions are around you. You've taken some silent time for yourself and really, reflected on certain things like that. Like, hey, am I taking on too much right now? Right? Because especially especially if you consider yourself a very strong person, which is, like I said, it's a great thing to have, but sometimes when other people know that too, they may be unintentionally putting extra responsibilities on you. That is not your responsibility, though, right? So again, you have to sit with yourself though and know, like, are you in that position or not? Right? Because it takes time to get clarity with that, and that's okay. It takes time to be in a place of stillness. For some of you, if you, whatever spiritual belief you may or may not have, you may need to go there, right? Or you may need to, again, like literally sit with yourself in silence and be like, wait a minute, let me try to sort out my life where I'm at right now, right? And I always say, and I want to reiterate this, I'm in a health moment. Try your best not to come from a place of self-blame, though. So sometimes what happens is that when you get to a place of self-awareness of said situation, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I this. I can't believe I that. Right. Like that. Then we get into a place of self blame. Like, let's not try to go down that path though. Let's try to be in a place of recognizing, um, getting into a space of clarity, making some changes if you need to, but not in a place of like, whatever it is you tell yourself, any type of negative thinking, any type of self blame, like those sorts of things aren't healthy either. Right. But it comes and it's normal sometimes for that to come about when you really get into a place of um when you really get into a place of some self-awareness of some things. Whether you're taking care of patients, whether you're taking care of your family members, whether you're taking care of friends, whoever you're taking care of, please take care of them. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying not to take care of people. Please take care of people. Like let's all take care of each other. However, also in that know where your limits are and know that just because you're the strong person or whatnot, that you still have to take care of yourself too. And you still have to make sure you have your self-care. You still have to make sure that you understand, what is really your responsibility here. Someone says, I'm also a caregiver and I take care of a person that's not even related to me. I've been taking care of him ever since 2014. 2014, I'm at my wit's end. Help me, Lord. He's 85 and he has dementia. And you know what? I'm glad you mentioned that because there's a lot of studies actually you all well, that's I'm gonna go off script a little bit for today's mental health moment because I like what you all are sharing in the chat. And just remind you that there's a lot of studies about caregiver burnout. So one of the things I talk about, for those of you who don't know, if you're new to mental health moment, I talk a lot like at length with different corporations, organizations about burnout prevention because it's a real thing. Mental resilience, a very important thing in a lot of different spaces. And so though what I found too is that especially with caregivers, there's a lot, there's a heavy amount of burnout sometimes because it is very easy to get into a mental space of I got to take care of this person, like I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this, right? You're like your whole life, your whole to-do list is taking care of said situation, person's work, whatever it is, instead of also doing your best to find time to take care of you too, right? And in reality, if you're really thinking about hopefully being a better caregiver, you do that by taking care of yourself too, right? You do that by thinking, how can I grow physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally? How can I also, and I know I get that it's hard sometimes, but how can I also make time for me, even if it's a little bit of time, make time for me, make sure I'm taking care of myself so that I can be this better caregiver to this person or whomever it is, right? So again, that's why I always say on mental health moment that when you take care of yourself, it's not just for you, it is for you, but it's also for the people around you. It has a ripple effect. Like it's a positive thing for other people around you too. So yes, thank you for sharing that. Someone said, I don't regret anything for helping him or taking care of him. His family is all to see such a wonderful person. I think God will allow me to be there for him. I just get stressed out. I started getting help with hospice and that's a help. Good for you. And that's the thing too. We talked about this. Actually, we've been talking about this a lot. I feel like on the last mental health moments about how important it is, you all, no matter if you're a caregiver or not, like reaching out to your support systems. If you don't have said positive support system, working on finding ways, there's a lot, excuse me, there's a lot within the community, a lot of really great resources that can help you, that can be supportive of you in this journey. Because it's not always easy. I think I ran out of water, y'all. Excuse me. It's not always easy to do everything on your own. And that's but it's not always easy for us to do everything on our own, right? Like you're allowed to reach out to your support system. Excuse me, you're allowed to find positive support systems. You're allowed to find forums and community members and other people that want to help you in this journey. Like that's allowed, right? Someone said, yes, serve from the overflow. Yes, yes. And that's, it's funny. I think for many of us, we just were not taught that. At least I'll speak for myself. I definitely wasn't taught growing up, like serve from overflow. I was taught like just go, 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 like just like wipe yourself out and just like go. Like I don't remember conversations about like take care of yourself and serve from overflow and like I don't remember any of those conversations. Maybe I had them, but I don't remember them at all. But we're in a different space now, thank goodness, right? We actually talk now more now about our mental health. Yay. So it's a good thing. Good evening from Jersey. Welcome, welcome. We can hold get some get a water. Thank you. I'm good now. I think I had a little COVID attack, but I'm good now. But thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Um, okay, so the second thing is that um so the first thing we talked about today is definitely thinking about what is your capacity versus what is your responsibility, right? Like really getting clear on that. And sometimes when we don't take the minute, when we don't take the stillness, when we don't take the silent time, we're just being distracted by things happening around us and not taking the time for ourselves. We forget our capacity versus our responsibility. But that is again something you have to really ask yourself and be clearer about. The second thing, the second tip for today is again, we kind of said it a little bit earlier, but to make sure that you are protecting your mental bandwidth. I forgot where I read this from. I don't know. I read it somewhere. I read a lot of different things, but it was basically just saying that if you don't take the mental break, that your brain will take the mental break for you. You know what I mean? And your body too, actually. Like if you don't take the pause, if you don't take the reset, you will reach the point of burnout. You will reach the point of being so exhausted mentally and or physically that your body and your brain just start to shut down, right? And it looks like now you can't pay attention. Now you can't concentrate on anything. Now you can't remember how to do things. Now you're stressed out. Now you're irritable. Like all these things start to happen when we don't protect our mental bandwidth. But the good news is, again, when you are intentional, you can really understand like where is your mental energy. You're not, we can't always be at 100% every day. Like they're like, it's 100. Like, yes, be at 100, but also take the breaks because you like we only have so much. And the other thing is you have to understand what is it that is going on in this particular season of your life. What is it that is going on? This could be like I said, this could be you could be at the mountaintop. Like you could be like, this is the greatest season, the best week, the best month, the best year, or whatever of your life. Or you could be in a valley and you're like, this is a dark time for whatever said reason. Um, knowing like where you're at and then adjusting right to like where is your mental bandwidth. Like it is okay to take care of yourself even more, especially in the harder darker times. And then there's just certain times where you might be like, life's good, still take care of yourself, but I'm just saying you might need, what I mean, a little extra TLC for yourself when you're like, I'm going through a trying time right now, if that's the case for you. But again, know what you need to take on and work on knowing what you need to say no to. Um, someone said, yeah, someone said back in the day, not too many people rested, especially Black women. Yes, this was not. I feel like I feel like there's so many things, you all, that we have to like unlearn as a society. One of them being like you are allowed to pause, you're allowed to rest, and I speak transparently as I always have on Mental Health Moment that for a very long time in my life, like I didn't understand that concept. So I'm talking to you all from that place. Like I do now, but I didn't for a really long time because that's just not the way my brain operated or I remember being trained. And it's like, but there's so many benefits of you taking the break, taking the pause, thinking about resetting, recharging. Like these are very important things, right? Um, someone said you aren't a super person. Yes. El Paso, Texas is in the house. Welcome, welcome. Oh, I love this. Someone said I brought my granddaughter home from the hospital at 4 days old. She is now 23 and is my caregiver. I thank you for this so I can be conscious of her feelings and whatever she needs. Oh, that's so sweet. That is so sweet of you. It's funny because we were talking earlier about, for those of you just joining, we were talking about the burnout that, I mean, there's a lot of research on, especially with caregivers that happens. And then, you were just mentioning, this person in the comments was just mentioning how they are the person that's being taken care of, if you will, and how she just wants to be conscious of the feelings of her granddaughter, which is so sweet. That is very, very, that's so thoughtful of you. Like she would be very happy, I'm sure, because it is hard, right? It's hard. You're trying to take care of a person. It's very, very, very easy to neglect yourself, but it could lead to not so great things like fatigue, like burning out, like getting so stressed out, overwhelmed, anxiety, depression, like all these things can come about when we just really neglect ourselves. So yeah, so make sure your granddaughter's taking care of herself too. Let's see. We got Stanford University is in the house. Doctoral student in public health. Congratulations. Maternal health advocate. Very cool. Welcome, welcome. Someone said you can't take care of others if you don't take care of yourself. Absolutely. Like 1000%. But easier said than done, right? Easier said than done. Okay, so my last tip for the day. So if you're just joining, by the way, hi, Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. We've been talking today about just because you have the capacity, if you will, to carry something doesn't mean you always should, because it might not be your responsibility. So we've been talking about a couple tips about that. The third tip I want to leave you with today, the third and final tip I want to leave you with today, though, is also giving yourself permission to set good boundaries. I know we've heard this word before on mental health moment and in life about setting boundaries. Again, easier said than done, but the start of this is really being intentional, like really having the awareness, really again taking that silent time, taking that step back. Is very easy to get caught up in the news and social media and what happened to your best friend and what happened to your boyfriend or girlfriend or significant other, your family members, your friends. Like there's just so many distractions out there. It's very easy for us to not take a pause and reflect for ourselves. But when you do and you say, man, I've noticed, right, this particular area of your life, you're just very overwhelmed and stressed out. Maybe in that particular area, you have to set certain boundaries. And that could be boundaries with work, school, family, friends, or whatever that looks like for you, because we all have different boundaries, right? But making sure that you're really intentional with your time too, and make sure you're doing things that matter the most to you. Um, that again, what that looks like varies for us. But really thinking about like, um does this like whatever decision you have to make, like is this something that's affecting your mental health? Is this something that's helping your mental health? Is this something that brings you joy? Is this something that you need to set boundaries with? Like like what is the purpose of said activity or whatever it is that you have to make a decision about, right? Because all those things are very, very important. Ohio's in the house. Welcome, welcome. Thanks so much for joining here. Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. Um, so, so I want you all, as I wrap up today's mental health moment, I want you all to also remember that, gosh, I've talked to so many people throughout my career, like thousands and thousands of people. And what's so fascinating is what people think being strong really means. So fascinating, because I've had a lot of conversations with people about mental strength. So I want to remind you that your mental strength is not just what you can take on. Like, wow, look at him or look at her. They're, doing the most, or they're juggling all these things, and that's amazing. And it is amazing. But it's also like knowing how to set up boundaries for yourself, knowing when you need to, like, kind of put something down, knowing when you need to sort of have that mental health detox for you. And when I say mental health detox, there's certain things that we do need to let go of, like toxic situations, toxic habits. Maybe it's, whatever it is that you do that you're like, I need to work on releasing these things. We talked a lot about release this year. But thinking about releasing these negative things and adding better things in, adding more positive things, uplifting things, healthier habits, like, right? Like just really making those adjustments, and doing our best, as I always say, doing our best to make these set adjustments without having self blame, without, as much as possible, the negative self talk, without saying all the negative things to yourself when you are changing, right? Sometimes you just don't know what you don't know. But then when you do learn it, you're like, oh, I didn't even realize this, right? You're like, why would I be doing that? Or what, right? Like you realize you're like, that wasn't the best habit, or I really need to set some boundaries, or like those just little things you're like, what? that. Oh, when you really take the time to have the clarity and then you make the changes, right? And celebrate. I hope you all celebrate yourselves, by the way. So when you do make set changes, instead of like, oh my God, woe is me. I can't believe I did this, that, whatever. Eh, like celebrate that you're like, man, I'm so glad I figured out I need to set some boundaries in my life, right? Like I'm so glad I figured out that it is okay. It is not selfish for me to be taking care of myself. I'm so glad that I figured out a way to find like a little bit of downtime for me. Like celebrate those things because what I tend to hear from others is actually like I hear all the time, like the opposite. Like a lot of the negative things, like I don't do this, I don't do this, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. And it's like, well, eh, right? Let's think about like, okay, now I know what I need to do. So yeah, I'm gonna start making the change. You celebrate, you can celebrate you all. Okay, I've been saying I've been closing. I'm gonna say I'm gonna really close for real. But you all can celebrate being at the starting line of something, right? Because we always want to wait until you finish the goal. And it's like, okay, then you can celebrate. And it's like, no, like you celebrate if you're at the starting line and you're like, you know what? I just realized, Dr. Hammond, that I need to really think about my mental bandwidth. I need to just like be in that mental space for some of you, and it's fine. We're all at different points places in our wellness journey. But for some of you, you're not even at the starting line of like, man, I need to work on my self-care or I need to work on thinking about how I show up as a caregiver or how I show up whatever role I'm in. And that's okay. But again, so when you do get to the start line of the goal, you celebrate, right? You find a way to celebrate. You're like, okay, I am mentally here. I'm celebrating. And then, yeah, celebrate along the way too. When you hit, said milestones, whatever your goals are for yourself, for your personal development, but you're allowed to celebrate at the start line. So if nobody told you that before, I'm telling you. So yeah, so celebrate if you're at the start line, if you're at the finish line of a goal, you can celebrate. Obviously, you celebrate that too. If you're in the middle of the journey, right? Wherever you're at, like celebrate the progress. Like, let's say, for example, I don't know, you wanted to lose 20 pounds or whatnot, right? Like the fact that you're like, okay, I know that I need to change my eating and exercise habits. Let's say you're literally at that point, you celebrate that. And then when you get to the 5 pounds, the 10 pounds, you celebrate that too. And then when you hit your goal, obviously everybody celebrates at that point, but you celebrate along the way, right? You celebrate the baby steps. You celebrate the progress as little as it is. Like you celebrate that. That's my demand of y'all. No, I'm just playing. Someone said agreed. Celebrate. Yes. Hi from OKC. Welcome, welcome. Hi from Maine. I'm working on making small changes, reminding myself that it's okay not to do everything at once and learning to celebrate progress more often. I love to hear that. And this is something all that I have so many stories, but I do personally as well. Like I trust me, if you've read my mindset training book, I talked about that a lot, but I find any way to celebrate y'all. I mean, like the littlest things, I'll be like, up, I'm to celebrate. And when I say celebrate, it doesn't have to be a grand gesture. It could be just little things for you. But find ways along the way. Like life's hard sometimes. Like life just throws us all sorts of crazy curveballs, right? So just like for your mental health, for your wellness, like find little things to celebrate along the way. They could be the smallest things for you, right? But it's for you, right? So you find the ways to celebrate. Someone said most definitely I like that. Yes, celebrate. Okay. Speaking of celebrating, y'all are probably like, let me celebrate getting off this live. Um Okay, so for those of you who are new to Mental Health Moment, normally we don't go this long, but it's all good. I know y'all have plenty of things to be doing. But I love when I can actually see your comments too, by the way, because I just never know with technology. But today I was able to see your comments, which I love. So I'm gonna wrap up today's Mental Health Moment for real. So be blessed to all. Have an amazing week. Again, just remember to take care of yourself. Remember to work on making yourself your number one priority. Um, you know, Self-care is not selfish. As we always say, please work on taking care of yourself. If that's hard for you, that's okay. Take the mental step to say, I know I need to work on this and take the baby steps, right? We don't always have to take leaps. We can take baby steps too and celebrate it. But yes, thank you all for joining, not for me, but for you. I get so excited when I see you all's comments and like you doing different things and like working on yourselves. That's what this is all about. I'm proud of each and every one of you. And I will be back next Tuesday 8 p.m. Eastern, right here live on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. Be blessed. I'll see you guys next week. Take care of yourselves. Bye, guys.